We're going to explain how to port forward on Yuzu, the popular Nintendo Switch emulator. Port forwarding is crucial for online multiplayer in games that require it. Without it, you might encounter connection errors or be unable to join online sessions. Here's a step-by-step guide. 1. Identify the necessary ports. First, you need to know which ports your game uses. This information isn't standardized and often varies depending on the specific game. Check the game's official website or online forums for the necessary UDP and TCP ports. Write these down, you'll need them. 2. Locate your router's IP address. Next, find your router's IP address. This is typically found by typing 192.168.1.1 or 192.168.0.1 or similar into your web browser's address bar. If that doesn't work, you might need to look in your network settings on your computer. The exact method varies by operating system. Look for an option like Network Connections, Network and Sharing Center, or similar. Once on the network settings page, look for your connections information. The router's IP address will often be listed there. 3. Access your router's admin panel. Once you have the IP address, type it into your web browser. You'll be prompted for a username and password. This information is usually found on a sticker on your router itself or in your router's documentation. If you haven't changed it, the default credentials are often admin for both username and password. If you've changed it, use your custom credentials. 4. Find the port forwarding section. After logging in, navigate your router's settings. The exact location of the port forwarding section varies depending on the router's manufacturer and model. Common names for this section include port forwarding, virtual servers, NAT forwarding, or application rules. Look for a tab or section with one of these names. 5. Create a new port forwarding rule. In the port forwarding section, you'll usually find an option to add a new rule. You'll need to provide several pieces of information. Name, give the rule a descriptive name. For example, Yuzu port forwarding. Protocol, choose either TCP, UDP, or both, depending on the ports your game requires. Port range, enter the ports you identified in step 1. If the game uses multiple ports, you might need to create multiple rules or specify a range, for example 5,000, 6,000. Internal IP address. This is your computer's local IP address. Find this by typing ipconfig, Windows, or ifconfig, Mac OS Linux, in your computer's command prompt or terminal. Look for the IPv4 address under your active network connection. Enable the rule. Make sure you save your changes after entering all the data. 6. Test the connection. After setting up the port forwarding, test the online functionality in Yuzu. Launch your game and attempt to connect to the online service. If it still doesn't work, double-check all the steps above and ensure all the information is entered correctly. Remember to consult your router's manual if you have trouble navigating the settings. The process can differ slightly between router models.